leasing it, we're just gonna put on a payment and purchase it outright. So it's 2 years old at this point, and it'll just keep sitting up there.
Any other questions?
Mr. Mayor, I move we purchase that power plant.
Motion been made to approve the purchase of the power plant Bobcat by Councilman Audi. Do I have a second? Second by Councilman McMillan. Any further discussion? Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. Motion carries. Next item on the agenda is the purchase the sewer camera, which we had tabled here a while back, in the amount of $67,500.
So this is, I put some more information, and here's the other one that we've got right now. So, I think it's purchased in 1998.
Actually, it's a flashlight holder.
Does Flash Gordon know you have that?
Yeah. But just kind of highlight what they are working on. So this one can't record, we can't, we can't really log it. It's just more to look at stuff when we have problems. And Lee and I went to the conference. They really talked about kind of that proactive, what's under the ground. We give you some EPA article, kind of what we build our program around. Okay, we'd probably be more aggressive at the beginning of mapping the whole system, or videoing the whole system. But then afterwards, they're still saying, it's probably 6 to 10% of your system a year. You're going to want to kind of things change and whatever, and keep videoing it. So it's kind of one of those proactive things, along with washing and jetting that we're already doing. But the EPA and everybody else is kind of pushing it because systems are getting to be 60, 80, 100 years old. And currently, it's kind of interesting. I was reading the city of San Diego. There's obviously a much bigger community, but they kind of their program, because they've been doing it for 20, 25 years. No, actually it was, Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. And they budget about 1% a year to replace their sewer systems, 1% of it a year, and so, which, in 100 years, they have it all replaced. And so I kind of did the math, and we're kind of really doing the same thing by putting about 35 miles and, roughly 80 to 100,000 a year. We're kind of chipping away at it, so, this way we can know where to chip away at and to replace. So, I don't know. But, any questions or any of that?
What we're looking at, I understand it's got every bell and whistle on it and wonderful. Is there nothing between that and this $70,000
Yeah.
deal here? I mean,
Yep. So, good question. I mean, the base one of what we're looking at that can do the recording and everything costs about as much as this one does, because this one's used and it already comes all hooked up to everything. I don't know, Jim, what were some of the lower end, just the pods?
The lowest end with just the cable unit and small monitor was a little over 62,000.
That's brand new. So, and then you wouldn't be able to record it to anything or have anything to mount it on. You have to mount it on something. So this one's already been out in the field and going. So it's kind of like you get a discount on a system that can do that.
And that was just the unit, not the trailer hookup and everything ready to go.
The generators and
Right,
everything.
right.
So moved.
I have one.
Oh,
Yes.
sorry. Okay.
This is probably good too. Is there a possibility that you could get the unit to mount and be a part of the cleaning truck?
I think it would be probably pretty difficult because both the front and rear of the backcon has already equipment on it for sucking and things like that. So I believe that would probably be pretty difficult. Plus, the electronics of this, you'd want to make sure that it stays out of the weather and everything like
Yeah.
that. I think having the trailer set up is by far, it protects our investment, plus we can roll up to a manhole, drop it, let it go.
I mean,
we're off.
You don't have to clean the line first?
Hmm?
You don't have to clean the line before you video it?
Well, most of the time, yeah, it'd be best to clean it, but then rerun this
That's why I
in.
was
But
wondering about it, if you had the
if
truck
there's
already out there.
if they're in the process of cleaning and have a plug up, we can go at the other end and run this unit up it, where if it was attached,
Yeah.
we couldn't do that.
Yeah, I mean, the trailer and all, it's basically all wired and ready to go. Like, we could buy just the unit, and kind of like Jim was saying, new or whatever, and we have an old used trailer, we could try to stick it in, but my thought process is, you know, could we do it, you know, for $5,000 or, you know, 10, 15, try to get it all wired together and get the generator, get it to all work, whereas this one's already been running for a couple of years and we know everything works together and, so, you know, that was just kind of the idea behind it is we've got.
It costs more to piecemeal these things together than it does to buy a complete package that's already in place and ready to go.
What's the warranty on something like that that's been used?
Yeah, the new one is 1 year, the used one's gonna be 6 months. Yeah, there's just not much.
Okay.
How often do you think that would be used, Jim?
I plan on using it every time we clean sewers to get our initial mapping done and see where our bad spots are.
Okay. How
I
often?
mean, not everyone, probably, I think I put out, I think it's in your packets, that I would like to see them do it. We do a third of the town a year in cleaning, and I'd like to see a third of that part, at least camera it and see how it's done, how the system works.
How long does that take
How long does it take?
Yeah.
As far as
to do what you guys are wanting to do with this machine?
overall, just per line, I'm not understanding.
Okay, how many hours per year will you be using this piece of equipment to do what you're wanting to do with our sewer system?
Oh, boy. To give you a
I mean,
straight
just a
hour,
guesstimate, and I know you can't.
it'd be quite a bit. I figure,
I mean,
best way I can
total
say
time,
it,
would you do 3
we're doing
months?
about 11 miles of cleaning. We'll do about 4 miles of cameraing a year and figure, probably 3-4 hours per maybe 2-3 blocks. So we're probably looking at 400 or 500 hours.
I have a motion on the floor from Councilman Graybon to approve the purchase of the sewer camera. I have a second. Second by Councilman Terrell. Any further discussion? Those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. Motion carries. Next item on the agenda is appoint a representative for the regional water plant discussion. Councilman Graybon has offered to serve in that capacity. So I thought maybe he and Jason would be two of them that would do us a good job, so. I was thinking 2, I'm not for sure. Was it 2 or 3, Jason?
I thought 2 was kind of what they thought, but, you know, I don't know. I mean,
They said
3 is fine, I mean, you know.
no more than 3 is what they said.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just, yeah.
And I think anybody could come, it's just, you know.
Yeah.
You need a motion?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll make a motion, nominate Jason.
Okay,
And
Jason,
on that,
yeah.
2 for 3, yeah.
If two's the number.
No, it doesn't matter.
I said 2 or 3,
Yes.
actually.
No, I was just.
Okay.
You said the time
I'll
got
get out of
changed.
the job.
Okay, that's fine. A motion by
Yep.
Councilman Gingler that we appoint Councilman Graybon and Administrative Manager Brady to the water, our appointment to the representative regionalization discussion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Miller. Any further discussion? Those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. Motion carries. Next item on our agenda this evening is the North Campus Gas Service.
Sorry, okay. Okay, so this is, this one. Okay, so as our first house was going up out of North Campus, we quickly found out that there's no gas out there at that whole development. So, kind of a problem. I talked to Kansas Gas, and they said that Glenn had talked to them about it, decided not to go anywhere with it. I mean, this was, money was just getting to be something to do, we want to tackle at the time, or whatever the history was. But so anyway, we looked at, okay, so what is the homeowner or this person that bought the one lot to get the house going going to take to get the gas from the closest point to his house is going to be like $4,800. And so then we talked about, well, what does it take just to do the whole development? I mean, there's going to be some cost efficiencies there. Let's just talk kind of big numbers here to kind of see what it's going to be. And so they mapped this out. There's about 560 feet of gas to get the whole development done, okay? They're going to take 1,000 feet off of that because they consider it system improvement, just as a general system improvement. That's primarily coming up here over Mike Cooper's thing, okay? And then a little bit from Dollar General where we would have run it at that point to get it back down in the system, so there's about 50 feet there, okay? So then what happens is, typically with these, they do developer agreements for the developer, and we get 7 years to recoup that expense. So that expense is, like, $31,000 roughly to get all that run. And basically what that works out to is, the way they do it is it'd be $880 for every active meter that's set. So when, Chris goes to set his house, the meter theirs, he's gonna have to pay $880 to Kansas Gas, and then they reimburse us that $880, okay? So even if there's 50 meters set up there, we're only gonna get the $31,000, they'll cover it at that point, okay? So even when, if it's, somebody builds a house on, Cooper's edition, basically what he's been doing is just kind of putting it for each house as he goes, he's just laying that much more line, and then he gets recouped. But, so there's these 1, 2, 3, 4 lots of his, so when he would build a house or sell those, then he would pay Kansas Gas that connection fee, and then it would come back to us, okay? So the advantages of doing this, in my mind, are we get a lot, we're talking $6, $7 a square foot, to get this laid. I'm guessing the more they can lay, just do it one time, we're gonna get a better deal than trying to piecemeal it here, and all of a sudden we sell some lots up here, and, we wanna go up there, or, trying to figure out how we're gonna split that cost and all that stuff. And then, the other thing is the local crews are gonna do this, which I think is probably a good thing. It's gonna be a little more timely, they're gonna be able to get right on it, and plus, I think they're gonna do a good job as opposed to an outside contractor coming in here. And I think the outside contractors also get really expensive, just kind of from the drift I got, but since they're not having the board or not, under a lot of complicated stuff, it's pretty simple stuff, there's not a lot out there, that this is something they can tackle locally and get it knocked out. So, it's not the most amazing news I have for you, but unfortunately, it's we got into the development business here, and
We're trying to get out.
We're trying to get out of it, yeah, but, we have 7 years, so there is some, some risk that, if we don't get, 36 connections set over that time, that, we're not gonna recoup all of our costs, but, at least there's a path to recoup costs too on it, we've got quite a few lots sold at this point, and potential houses to go, yes, Andrew?
When we advertise these, do we advertise them having gas and sewer, all the hookups? Or is it advertised as what we do have in place at this time?
I think it's just, yeah, or it might be just like city utilities, which.
I guess
Yeah.
when we advertise these properties, is the assumption that all the services are ready to go, or is the assumption that some services may need to be connected by the person who buys the land? That's
Yeah.
what I'm looking for.
That, I don't know, I mean, I would assume the assumption is that there is there. Well, I mean, because there's several people that have worked up there that thought there was gas up there, and it wasn't, including myself. But,
Because we would have normally worked that into the cost of the property, right, with the amount that we would have spent on it? Because we work in the cost of every other service that we built into there, correct?
we did.
So,
Yeah. Well,
I'm
sorry, I'll back that up. There's still impact fees and all that
Right,
stuff, they're
but-
paying for that, so it'd be a very similar thing here. This is basically a connection fee, just like there's a impact fee or anything else for.
Right, but the 40, what is it,